I was only 7 years old, but there's one feeling I still can't forget. Wet hair, slipping between my fingers underwater. It happened during a family trip to South Georgia. There was this huge man-made lake people used to visit every summer. Technically, it was just a giant dugout pond, but the owner had turned it into a fake beach. There were palm trees, soft sand, barbecue grills, kids running everywhere, and one insanely dangerous water slide. People got hurt on that slide all the time. Broken arms, concussions, bloody noses, but nobody cared, because from the outside, the place looked like paradise. My family always sat near the far end of the shore, and about 30 yards out in the water, there was this tiny little sand island. I wasn't a strong swimmer back then, so instead of swimming, I'd bounce through the water on my tiptoes until I reached it. That day felt normal. The sun was blazing. Music was playing somewhere behind me. People were laughing, and the water was strangely calm. Too calm. I remember moving slowly toward the little island, when suddenly, my foot touched something underwater. At first I thought it was a rock, but then, it moved. I froze instantly. The water around me suddenly felt ice cold. Slowly I pushed my foot down again, and realized it felt like a face, a nose, a forehead, maybe even closed eyes. Then came the part I'll never forget. Hair. Thin, soft hair, floating through the water, some of it wrapped between my toes. I panicked. I screamed and splashed back towards shore as fast as I could, but when I got there, I didn't tell anyone, because I was a kid, and honestly, I didn't even understand what I had touched. I just sat there silently in my towel, rubbing my feet together over and over again, trying to get rid of the feeling. Then about 20 minutes later, everything changed. I noticed people running around the beach. A woman was crying hysterically. A man kept shouting, "Has anyone seen my son?" The entire beach suddenly went quiet. Parents started pulling their kids out of the water, and that's when my stomach dropped, because the area they were pointing at was the exact same spot where I felt that face. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. Something inside me was terrified to admit it. Then the police arrived. A rescue team came shortly after. Divers entered the water near the little sand island. Everyone stood there watching in silence. And after what felt like forever, one diver finally resurfaced, holding a small boy in his arms, completely still, his wet hair hanging over his face. And in that exact moment, I realized what I had touched underwater. The boy had drowned, just feet away from me. But the scariest part didn't happen at the lake. It happened later that night. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt those wet strands sliding across my skin again. Then sometime around 3 a.m., I suddenly woke up. My room was dark, completely silent, and that's when I noticed something on the floor, beside my bed. Tiny drops of water, leading from my bedroom door, straight to me. My heart started pounding. Slowly, I looked up. Nobody was there, but hanging off the edge of my blanket was a single strand of long, wet hair. I screamed. My parents came running into the room, but when they turned the lights on, everything was gone. No water, no hair, nothing. Today I'm 47 years old, and even now, I still check the water before stepping in, because sometimes, I swear it feels like something is still down there, waiting, and every once in a while, I can still feel those wet hairs slipping between my toes.